In a quiet village nestled between rolling hills, there lived a washerman named Ramu. He was known for his diligent work, spending long hours by the river, scrubbing clothes until they gleamed white as the clouds above. Ramu was a man of simple pleasures, finding joy in the rhythm of his labor, and the laughter of the children who often played nearby. Yet, he had one peculiar companion who added a sprinkle of mischief to his otherwise mundane routine, a donkey named Chotu. Chotu was no ordinary donkey. With his long ears flopping in the wind and a coat that shimmered like the sun-kissed earth, he had an uncanny ability to get into trouble. Ramu had rescued him from a market where he had been abandoned, and since then, the two had formed an inseparable bond. Chotu would follow Ramu everywhere, trotting alongside him as he carried bundles of freshly washed clothes to the villagers. One sunny morning, as Ramu was preparing for another long day by the river, he noticed Chotu munching on some grass. His ears perked up, as if he were contemplating something profound. Ramu chuckled. "What are you thinking about, my friend? Planning your next adventure?" Chotu looked up, his big brown eyes sparkling with mischief, and Ramu knew that trouble was brewing. As they arrived at the river, Ramu set to work, the sound of splashing water mingling with the cheerful chirping of birds. Chotu, however, had other plans. He ambled over to a nearby patch of wildflowers, snuffling around as if searching for hidden treasures. Ramu, engrossed in his washing, didn't notice when Chotu decided to venture a little too far from the riverbank. Suddenly, a loud braying echoed through the air. Ramu looked up, startled, to see Chotu galloping back towards him, a swarm of bees hot on his heels. The donkey darted in circles, trying to shake off the buzzing pests, his ears flapping wildly. Ramu burst into laughter, unable to contain himself. "Chotu, you fool! What have you done?" In a moment of sheer panic, Chotu dashed straight into the river, splashing water everywhere. Ramu rushed to the edge, half laughing, half worried, as Chotu floundered about, trying to evade the angry bees. It was a comical sight. The donkey, soaked and bewildered, looked up at Ramu as if to say, "Help me!" Ramu couldn't help but admire his friend's spirit, even in chaos. Once the bees finally lost interest and flew away, Chotu emerged from the water, dripping wet but triumphant. Ramu shook his head, still chuckling. "You've turned yourself into a waterlogged mess, my friend. What will the villagers say?" But deep down, Ramu loved these moments. They brought color to his days. After a long day of washing, Ramu decided to take a break and sat down on a rock by the riverbank. Chotu, still damp, plopped down beside him, resting his head on Ramu's knee. The sun began to set, casting a golden hue across the water, and for a while, they sat in comfortable silence, the world around them fading away. As twilight deepened, Ramu spoke softly. "You know, Chotu, life is a lot like washing clothes. Sometimes it gets messy, and you have to scrub hard to make things right. But every now and then, a little chaos adds to the joy, doesn't it?" Chotu raised his head, blinking slowly as if he understood every word. From that day on, Ramu and Chotu continued their adventures by the river, each day filled with laughter, mishaps, and the simple pleasure of companionship. The villagers grew fond of the duo, often stopping by to share a laugh or lend a hand. And though Ramu was the one who washed the clothes, it was Chotu who washed away the monotony of life, reminding everyone that sometimes a little chaos is exactly what we need to appreciate the beauty of everyday moments.